this is kind of consistent, right, with what Apple is doing with new gen of different hardware platforms, size, and then updating the processor. What else do we know?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. So last year, this time, they held an event called Scary Fast, timed around Halloween. They launched 3 new chips, a bunch of new Macs, but it was a 30-minute keynote, and it sort of disappeared, as you will, on Halloween right after that. This time around, they're doing 3 launches 3 days in a row. Yesterday, Monday, was the iMac with the M4. Today is the Mac Mini with the M4 and M4 Pro. Tomorrow will be the new MacBook Pros with the M4, M4 Pro, and M4 Max. This new Mac Mini looks extremely impressive. It's probably the most impressive new Mac that I've seen from them since the current MacBook Pro design launched 3 years ago. 2 inches tall, 5 inches across, super cool, super powerful. 2 ports on the front now, matching the Mac Studio.
As you reported would be the case.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very hot seller. People like to use these to connect them to TVs, gaming setups, and they're also extremely popular in the enterprise and in server environments. So this is a nice launch for Apple.
A nice launch, and necessary when you're baking in the market's expectations for growth of this company. We had KeyBank, the analyst there last week, saying, look, we very rarely have geographical growth and every product growing in terms of revenue, but the market seems to be baking that in. Mark, how likely is it that we're going to see such growth, do you think?
Well, the Mac Mini is only going to be a very incremental part of that, right? They'll generate sales here, but probably they'll sell maybe $1 billion worth of these, tops. Through the end of the year, maybe even a little bit less than that. So this is not a super material launch for them. It's really a cool launch that gets people in the Mac community really interested. It sets up the design for this product, hopefully not for the next 15 years like the last design, but certainly this is a nice launch for them. But it's not important from a financial standpoint like, let's say, a new iPhone or iPad.
Mark, overnight our colleagues in India reported some interesting numbers about exports from that country for Apple. So not necessarily the end market, but what they're doing there and then selling to the world. What do we know?
India is becoming an increasingly important part of the overall Apple story in terms of production and in terms of sales. I think you're one day going to see more product development happen there as well. They have some engineering labs, particularly for maps testing there as well. So India is incrementally becoming a bigger part of the Apple story. I don't think they're ever going to drop China totally, but they're inching towards India becoming the new China.